What up, WeHo? West Hollywood celebrated Thanksgiving, and this year I have so much to be thankful for. Democrats reclaiming the House, NBC reclaiming Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Ryan Reynolds reclaiming his artistic voice.
Did you just talk? Whoa. Did you just understand me?
Oh my God, you can understand me! Stop! I've been so lonely!
It's his Hamlet. Welcome to WeHo TV News. Winter is coming, West Hollywood. I'm Mike Suriaco, and I'm bringing you everything you need to know about WeHo, courtesy of the city of West Hollywood. If you spent November like I did, feeding your face with Thanksgiving leftovers and shoving strangers for a Nintendo Switch, you may have missed out on some important news. Don't sweat it, because we're gonna catch you up to speed with the WeHo Wind-Up. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock. Art on the Outside got to the point with its debut of James Peterson's Cacti. A blue wave swept Democrats into the House. West Hollywood saluted its brave military members and veterans. Millennials got busy at Next Gen, giving you the business. And the reboot of She-Ra served up some strong LGBT diversity.
Plus, your friend over there can turn into a 8-foot-tall lady with a sword, and I want her on my side.
Sounds like a drag queen I once met at the Abbey. Tuck it up, princess, so you can fit into these news briefs. On November 3rd, the city of West Hollywood presented West Hollywood Artists and Icons, a conversation with Dan Guerrero, the star of Gaytino, Made in America. A longtime activist, Guerrero uses the show to explore his dual identities as a gay man and Latino, to which we say, girl, si se puede. The June L. Mazur Lesbian Archives presented Out of the Box on November 4th, an exhibit featuring over 50 rare photographs. Let me translate this for our Gen Z viewers. It's like Instagram, but IRL. It's way lit, brah. And I didn't have to look up any of those on Google. On November 6th, Women in Books met to discuss The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner. Don't worry, unlike some others Mars-based media, this contains zero Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Small Business Saturday was hosted in West Hollywood on November 24th, encouraging consumers to support local businesses. The event was referred to as Shop Small WeHo, but despite the name, you're not limited to buying tiny things. Although it would be cute to pick up something that matched your dog. And let me remind you that size doesn't matter as I get out of these news briefs. On November 20th, the city of West Hollywood hosted its annual Transgender Day of Remembrance event, honoring the lives of transgender people lost to hate crimes. According to the Human Rights Campaign, at least 22 people have been killed due to anti-trans violence this year alone. And since 2013, 128 anti-trans murders have been documented in the United States. Just as we remember the lost lives of our trans brothers, sisters, and non-binary siblings, we should also acknowledge the many victories for the transgender community. In honor of Transgender Awareness Month, we'd like to present to you the 2018 Trans Year in Review. Politics. Fans of our show should remember last month's coverage of the Rainbow Wave, the unprecedented number of LGBT Americans who ran for office in 2018, including 21 openly LGBT candidates for Congress, 4 for governor, and more than 100 non-incumbents for state legislative seats across 32 different states and U.S. territories. 2 winners worth mentioning are Lisa Bunker and Jerry Cannon, who share the honor of being the first openly trans people to be elected to the New Hampshire House of Representatives. Along with Danica Rome, they are currently the only openly trans members of any state legislature in the country, despite the fact that, according to a 2016 study conducted by the Williams Institute, 1.4 million adults in the country identify as transgender. Trans representation in politics is especially crucial in light of the Department of Health and Human Services proposal to redefine gender as immutably assigned at birth, effectively erasing federal protections for transgender Americans. Fortunately, earlier this month, the American Medical Association passed a resolution vowing to oppose this policy. A statement released by AMA board member William E. Kobler said, quote, "It is essential to acknowledge that an individual's gender identity may not align with the sex assigned to them at birth. Let's be real. medical decisions should be left to the medical community, and trans identity should be left to the trans community, not old cisgender straight men. Television. 2018 was also a significant year for trans representation on the small screen. This year, GLAAD counted 26 transgender roles on TV, up by 9 from last year. A significant factor was Ryan Murphy's series Pose on FX, which showcased 5 new transgender characters. Trans representation in media is incredibly important since, according to the Trevor Project, 40% of transgender adults have attempted suicide. 92% of these individuals attempted suicide before age 25. Presenting transgender characters in mainstream media is an important step for normalizing the trans community, for both heteronormative outsiders and its own members. Geek culture. Television wasn't the only form of media involving the trans community, for better or for worse. Queer comic book aficionados may be familiar with Comicsgate, the alt-right social media movement lashing out against female, minority, and LGBT representation in comics. One target of these homophobic hashtag haters is openly trans comic creator Magdalene Visaggio, who has been misgendered by one Twitter troll as a, quote, man in a wig, and has been falsely accused of being mentally ill because of her gender identity. This harassment belies Visaggio's contributions to the comic book medium, both at DC Comics and in her independent works such as Kim and Kim. This punk rock sci-fi series is like if Blade Runner and Gem and the Holograms had a genderqueer baby who decided to blast off into outer space. It's also evidence that a unique perspective like Visaggio's can resonate with gender-normative audiences, in spite of transphobic Twitter toxicity. Hopefully 2019 will bring the trans community more victories than setbacks, but either way, West Hollywood sees you, West Hollywood hears you, West Hollywood promises you will not be erased. And the voices of its trans community weren't the only ones shared this month. For more on how WeHoans showcase their artistic voices, we go now to Eddie Robinson.
Life in the creative city of West Hollywood is vibrant and multifaceted, and who better to explore that life than the artists who live and create their work here. I'm Eddie Robinson, and this is WeHoTV News. Now at the Worley Building, the city of West Hollywood presents WeHo in Paso, an exhibit that captures WeHo living through a collection of original paintings, pen and ink drawings, animations, and photographs.
So when I was driving around in West Hollywood, stuck in traffic and inspired to draw Panic Attack, I came home to West Hollywood and did it. So I guess you could say that Panic Attack was both inspired in the city and created in the city.
Like so much of the work of the city of West Hollywood, this exhibit takes WeHo's message and beauty beyond the borders of the city, this time to Paso Robles, California, where the exhibit was initially presented with the city's partners in the project, Studios on the Park.
My work was quite a difference to what was there, and I found the artists responded very well to it. They were very excited to see something new and something different, and I had a lot of really great conversations with the people of Paso. So it was a really great experience overall.
This exhibit also helps to realize WeHo Arts The Plan, the city's community cultural plan, which includes a goal to support artists by providing a space that's easily accessible for their work to be presented.
Every time I walk, there is some new piece of art, either in the median or a public space or the library or in front of or in City Hall. And I think it's cool that the city takes an active role in sort of promoting the arts and promoting creativity and showcasing it to everybody so that you don't have to be on a waiting list to experience something. You can literally be walking down the street and see a beautiful piece of art that's installed in the middle of a park or on a sidewalk.
Visit WeHo.org to discover more inspiring exhibitions organized by the city of West Hollywood. For WeHoTV News, I'm Eddie Robinson. Mike, back to you.
Thank you, Eddie, for that early holiday present. While the city of West Hollywood wants everyone to have fun this season, we'd also like to remind you to stay safe with this message from an old friend of the show.
It's me, your favorite holiday-hating humbug, the Grinch. Once again, it's that terrible time of year again where every fool wastes his time celebrating with loved ones. Ugh, gross. But the only thing that would make this wretched holiday season even worse is getting a DUI. So, if you're unfortunate enough to have friends, be sure to trick one of them into being your designated driver. If you're lucky enough to have no friends, like me, and you still want to hit the ho-ho hooch, be sure to use a ride-sharing application and push your problems onto a stranger. Loser. And if you don't have any pockets to hold your phone or money, then be sure to exploit the city of West Hollywood's kindness and hop onto the free WeHo Pickup Sunset Trip or the City Line Saturday Short Line. But if you see me on board, do not talk to me. Oh, and if you are wishing to smoke some recreational hoo-hash, well, you fools should know that driving under the influence of marijuana is a crime, and it will result in the same thing as driving under the influence of alcohol. So, if you're going to hit the Christmas reef, stay in your cave. That way, when the munchies hit, you'll be closer to a roast beast. Forget about white Christmas. I'm going to have a green Christmas. And Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Solstice, Festivus, etc. Just don't drink or smoke and drive. In fact, don't drive at all. Less traffic for me. Have a happy don't make me say it. Goodbye.
Thanks, Grinch. Supporting small businesses is great, but how does one actually start their own business? To learn more about this, we sent Nick Catelli to NextGen, giving you the business. Nick, over to you.
Owning your own small business is still the American dream, and in the city of West Hollywood, we're taking a page from Star Trek, and we're looking to the next generation. I'm Nick Catelli for WeHoTV News, and we're going to check out the Next Gen, giving you the business event, and hopefully somebody starts a donut shop out of these businesses, because that would be sweet.
Our first trip to West Hollywood City Hall, they were like, what can we do to get this here? What can we do to help you?
Behind me are some of the city of West Hollywood small business owners, and tonight, as you can see, they're passing down their knowledge, their roads to glory stories, and their business plans of what it takes to make a small business prominent in the city of West Hollywood.
Personal experience is the people behind the scenes want new businesses to happen here.
We don't really know how to begin.
They just wanted to know about our business and how they could help in any way, like if they could connect us with other businesses.
When you decide that you're ready to do it and commit every fiber and moment, have the city kind of behind you and working with you hand in hand.
If they believe in your possibility, you just declare it. Like, yeah, okay, do it.
It's everything from have a great business plan, make sure you're working with the city because they have all kinds of free resources.
If you're looking to grow or move your small business to the city of West Hollywood, visit weho.org/business or just stop by City Hall. The Next Gen event is made possible by a partnership with Innovate LA. For more information about events like this or just anything going on in the city of West Hollywood, visit weho.org. Again, I'm Nick Catelli for WeHoTV News, and I'm excited to see what the next generation of small business owners have to offer. Hopefully it's something that's kind of a circle with a smaller circle in the middle, and it rhymes with go nut.
Thanks, Nick. On a more serious note, on December 1st, we observe World AIDS Day here in West Hollywood and internationally. For more on how the city of West Hollywood is combating this epidemic, we're exploring the HIV Zero initiative for this month's Mic Drop. HIV and AIDS are among the world's most serious health problems. Since 1981, approximately 77 million people have been infected with HIV, and tens of millions have died of AIDS-related causes. HIV and AIDS have had a significant impact on the city of West Hollywood, and since the mid-'80s, our city was one of the first government entities to provide social services grants to local HIV and AIDS organizations. Continuing in this tradition, the city of West Hollywood has implemented HIV Zero, which aims to reduce HIV infection, progression, discrimination, and stigma to zero. So in honor of World AIDS Day, we met up with Dr. Aaron Celius to learn more about this ambitious initiative.
So there are really two broad approaches that we're using. One of the big tactics is we want the entire community, regardless of their HIV status, to have greater access to healthcare. We know now that when someone is virally suppressed, they and they're undetectable, the capacity to transmit is significantly reduced.
When it comes to preventative care, an important resource is medications such as PrEP, which drastically reduce one's ability to contract HIV from others.
We've made so many advances in medicine now. If someone is taking their medicine regularly and they have reduced viral load, they're not really able to transmit HIV to someone else. So this is an incredible time to, I won't say live with HIV, but that we're living in. We now have the first generation of people who are HIV positive and aging.
While combating HIV from a medical approach is crucial, it's just one way the HIV Zero Initiative is dealing with this disease. For Celius, who earned a PhD in sociology from the University of Michigan, addressing the stigma associated with HIV and AIDS is equally important.
Tackling stigma is important so that people don't feel ashamed and they realize that they're not alone, there are solutions, and there's a community. What I really appreciate about the HIV Zero Initiative and the effort that the city is making is to make it so people feel included, that they're told you're part of the community, regardless of your HIV status. If you have HIV, that's fine. We have resources for you, and the community embraces you.
Commemorating World AIDS Day is but one way our community can embrace and honor those we've lost to AIDS. But we can also hope that, at least in the city of West Hollywood, those casualties will be the last.
Before we go, we'd like to remind our viewers that HIV isn't the only crisis facing Californians. In an effort to assist those impacted by the devastating fires burning across our state, the West Hollywood Response Program has provided a list of organizations in which you can direct much-needed donations, which you can find at the website below. And while you're feeling charitable, we'd also like to remind you that WeHo will be holding its 28th annual Toy and Food Drive. For more on this, hit up the website below. We'll be back next month with more news, noise, and nonsense. Until then, keep it cute, WeHo.